South Africa versus Nigeria. Which country is best? Welcome to the Explorer and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall be putting two of African giant countries, South Africa and Nigeria, against each other to see who comes on top. Nigeria and South Africa most often tops the chart in many aspects on the African continent, be it economy, entertainment, and infrastructure. Though both countries are unique in their own ways, they somewhat have similar features. Many factors go into deciding which country is a better option, such as the primary aim of the trip and what you intend doing in both countries. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Now let's begin the geography and demography of both countries. To begin with, both Nigeria and South Africa are coastal countries because both countries extend to the oceans. Nigeria is a country in West Africa, bordering Niger in the north, Chad in the northeast, Cameroon in the east, and Benin in the west. Its coast in the south is located on the Gulf of Guinea in the Atlantic Ocean. The federation comprises 36 states and one federal capital territory, where the capital Abuja is located. The constitution defines Nigeria as a democratic secular state. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people, spread across 923,000 kilometers square of land. Nigeria has been home to a number of ancient and indigenous kingdoms and states over the millennia. Nigeria is found in the tropics, where the climate is seasonally damp and very humid. Nigeria is affected by 4 climate types. These climate types are distinguishable, as one moves from the southern part of Nigeria to the northern part of Nigeria through Nigeria's middle belt. Nigeria, like the rest of West Africa and other tropical lands, has only 2 seasons. These are the dry season and the rainy season. The dry season is accompanied by a dust-laden air mass from the Sahara Desert, locally known as Harmattan, or by its main name, the Tropical Continental air mass. While the rainy season is heavily influenced by an air mass originating from the South Atlantic Ocean, locally known as the southwestern wind, or by its main name, the Tropical Maritime air mass. These 2 major wind systems in Nigeria are known as the trade winds. South Africa, on the other hand, occupies the southern tip of Africa, its coastline stretching more than 2,850 kilometers from the desert border with Namibia on the Atlantic coast, southwards around the tip of Africa, and then northeast to the border with Mozambique on the Indian Ocean. It has a population of about 58.7 million people, spread across its 1.2 million kilometers square of land. Although most of the country is classified as semi-arid, it has considerable variation in climate as well as topography. The total land area is 1,220,813 kilometers square. It has the 23rd largest exclusive economic zone of 1,535,538 kilometers square. South Africa is largely a dry country, with most of its western regions being semi-desert. The rainfall increases in the east, the High Veld, KwaZulu-Natal, and the Eastern Midlands, and falls primarily in summer. The summers are warm to hot, while the winter temperatures can vary depending on locality from bitterly cold to cool. Thus, the Karoo, which occupies a large part of the western central plateau, has a climate which is extremely hot in summer and bitterly cold in winter. In contrast, the eastern coastline on the Indian Ocean is lush, well-watered, and warmed by the Mozambique current. Patches of southern African mangroves grow along this coast. Nigeria is relatively smaller than South Africa in terms of surface area, but has a larger population than any other country in Africa. More to this, the temperature of Nigeria is hot and humid throughout the year as compared to South Africa's. Infrastructure. When it comes to infrastructure, South Africa has some of the best and most developed cities and infrastructures, such as good road network, better communication services, modern hospitals, airports, and schools. In fact, Cape Town in South Africa always ranks as one of the top 10 best cities in the world. South Africa has some of the tallest buildings in Africa, such as the Leonardo and Carlton Center. South Africa also boasts of some of the best airports which are world-class standards, such as King Shaka and Cape Town International Airport. With regard to sports, South Africa is the only African country to have hosted the World Cup with its world-class stadium. Nigeria, on the other hand, is not doing bad when it comes to infrastructures. Nigeria has some of the most beautiful and expensive houses and hotels in Africa and the world. Though they are still facing challenges with their road networks due to the massive population, the country is gradually improving in terms of infrastructure. Looking at both countries infrastructure-wise, South Africa has infrastructures which can only be compared to those of developed countries. Economy. The economy of Nigeria is a middle-income mixed economy in emerging market, with expanding manufacturing, financial service, communications, technology and entertainment sectors. It is ranked as the 27th largest economy in the world in terms of nominal GDP and the 22nd largest in terms of purchasing power parity. Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa. Its re-emergent manufacturing sector became the largest on the continent in 2013, and it produces a large proportion of goods and services for the West African subcontinent. In addition, the debt to GDP ratio is 16.075% as of 2019. Nigerian GDP at purchasing power parity has almost tripled from $170 billion in 2000 to $1.2 trillion in 2020. Correspondingly, the GDP per capita doubled from $1,400 per person in 2000 to an estimated $2,800 per person in 2012. Again, with the inclusion of the informal sector, it is estimated that GDP per capita hovers around $3,900 per person. Population increased from 120 million in 2000 to over 200 million in 2020. Nigeria's economy is mostly dependent on oil and gas, agriculture, industries, and entertainment. The country has some of the busiest seaport and airports in Africa. Nigeria has some of the best investment policies in Africa, as many countries and companies around the world rush to Nigeria to open branches, some of which include YouTube, Facebook, DSTV, and KFC, just to mention a few. The economy of South Africa, on the other hand, is the second largest in Africa after Nigeria. As a regional manufacturing hub, it is the most industrialized and diversified economy on the continent. South Africa is an upper middle income economy by the World Bank, one of only 4 such countries in Africa, alongside Botswana, Gabon, and Mauritius. Since 1996, at the end of over 12 years of international sanctions, South Africa's gross domestic product almost tripled to peak at $400 billion in 2011, but has since declined to roughly $385 billion in 2019. In the same period, foreign exchange reserves increased from $3 billion to nearly $50 billion, creating a diversified economy with a growing and sizable middle class. Within 2 decades of ending apartheid, South Africa's state-owned enterprises play a significant role in the country's economy, with the government owing a share in around 700 state-owned enterprises involved in a wide array of important industries. In 2016, the top 5 challenges to doing business in the country were inefficient government bureaucracy, restrictive labor regulations, a shortage of skilled workers, political instability, and corruption. Whilst the country's strong banking sector was rated as a strongly positive feature of the economy. The nation is among the G20 and is the only African member of the group. The economy of South Africa is mostly dependent on industries and tourism. A lot of investors used to move to South Africa, but in recent years, due to xenophobia, a lot of business people have relocated to other countries. Despite the fact that both countries are the continent's giant in terms of economy, Nigeria, however, is still the leader. Standard of living. South Africa is one of the richest countries in Africa, with one of the best standards of living, which is probably the reason why a lot of people flock into the country. The country has upper middle income economy with purchasing power parity per capita of about $13,865 and a nominal per capita income of $6,331. Nigeria might have the biggest economy in Africa, but its per capita income is one of the smallest on the continent. The country has a lower middle income with purchasing power parity per capita of $6,232 and a nominal per capita income of about $2,465. The cost of living in both countries is relatively cheaper than most countries on the continent, depending on where you decide to live and the standard you set for yourself. Tourism. Tourism in Nigeria centers largely on events due to the country's ample amount of ethnic groups and multitude of talents, but also includes many natural attractions such as the Millennium Park in Abuja, Live Camp Gwarimpa Park, and so on. Nigeria is also home to many festivals such as the Eyo Festival, Lagos Black Heritage Carnival, and the Calabar Festival, and so many film festivals and awards like the AMVCA, which attract tourists from around the world. The World Travel and Tourism Council estimated revenue related to tourism and travel in Nigeria to be $1 billion in 2007 and accounts for approximately 6% of the gross domestic product. By 2017, Nigeria's tourism revenue reached $3 billion, compared with $1 billion in the previous year. The industry suffers from the country's poor electricity, roads, and water quality, which slows down the tourism sector in Nigeria. But with massive investment by both the government and foreign partners, it rises above most of its challenges. South Africa, on the other hand, is a tourist destination, and the industry accounts for a substantial amount of the country's revenue, with worldwide recognized touristic sites such as the Kruger Park, Kigalagadi Transfrontier Park in Northern Cape, the Drakensberg in KwaZulu-Natal, Isimangaliso Wetland Park, Blood River Canyon Nature Reserve in Mpumalanga, and beaches such as the Coffee Bay and First Lucia beaches. It is not a surprise why South Africa is such a tourist destination. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, South Africa's tourism revenue reached $331 million in December 2019, compared with $294 million in November 2019, which contributes hugely to its GDP and supports 10.3% of jobs in the country. Nevertheless, as it is often said, figures don't lie, and so is the case of the tourism industry in Nigeria, which grosses higher in terms of revenue and GDP compared to South Africa. Security. Security is still a major problem in both Nigeria and South Africa. This is because Nigeria has a high crime rate, which is as high as 9.85 crimes per thousand people as of 2015. There is a very high rate of theft and scams in Nigeria, which brought about the slogan, "Shine your eyes in Nigeria." South Africa, on the other hand, has been relatively safe, with spotted cases of rape crimes, car hijacking, gang violence, and taxi violence. But in recent years, South Africa's crime rate skyrocketed with the xenophobia ongoing in the country, which has made many foreigners afraid to visit or stay in the country. Conclusion: both countries are unique and good in their own ways, and your choice of which you prefer will depend on what and why you want to visit any of them. South Africa, which stands out amongst developing countries, is a country with good infrastructure and huge social and economic problems. On the other hand, Nigeria has the largest economy and population in Africa, but still does not have the best standard of living, roads, and infrastructures. We can therefore conclude that South Africa is slightly better off than Nigeria because of its great temperatures, infrastructures, friendliness to investment, and also its outstanding standard of living. Thanks for watching this video, Displorers. Which countries would you like us to compare next? Kindly leave your suggestions in the comment section and we will be sure to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends.